Hi guys, my name's Chandra, back with another video. This one is my favorite goal setting exercises. And I did the previous video you should see will be the Steve Harvey's 300 things. I don't know if that's what he calls it. That's what I call it. I saw the video, loved it. So if you haven't seen that, you may like to go over and I will put the video, is it up here? One of these two places. You'll see a little card pop out. So you can watch that one, love it. But that is one of my top 5 goal setting techniques. So I actually worked through this process in 2019, starting near the end of November. And basically what you do is you write down 300 things that you want. And I use that as an exercise to start to clarify what it is that I actually ultimately want, because when you have to write down 300 things, it turns out 300 is a lot. Maybe not a lot of dollars or not a lot of cents, but it's a lot of things. So if you are having trouble just generally setting goals, I would say that's an excellent place to start. And so hop on over to that video and give the exercise a try. To be fair, I did it as an experiment. It takes a whole year. So give it a shot. So that's my number 1 recommended goal setting exercise. Number 2 is from Jenna Moreci. I always feel like I'm saying her name wrong, and I will check on that because I watch her videos all the time, but I don't know. Sorry. She breaks everything down into quarterly goals. So I like this because with the 300 things, it's a whole year. With Jenna's method, which I will also link to her stuff somewhere around here, that is, you break it up into the 3-month chunks, which I think is really helpful because when you have all of these things going, it's like where to begin, right? So breaking things up into 3-month chunks is much more manageable. It gives you time to look ahead. And if you are planning for big things, and this is where it's been really helpful to me, and I actually had this in my happy planner, was just to like look back and start to move towards that. Okay, so I've done my overall goals. Now I'm going to do the 3-month section. It becomes really helpful when you're planning for things like NaNoWriMo, which I am currently doing. So I have to work ahead in order to have everything going at once. And as a person who wasn't raised in a household where goals were something that we talked about or discussed or planned for, and we definitely didn't have any kind of 3-month plans, it's been really helpful because for Nano, everything that I would usually do in November, I need to get done in October so that I can focus 100% of my attention on writing. And granted, there's going to be a few things that I won't be able to do that for, but as much as possible, if I can plan ahead, it's going to make November a lot easier. And then since I already know that December is going to be busy with holidays and running around and getting ready for Christmas and the New Year's and all of that jazz, I want to make sure that I have stuff pre-planned for December as well, so that I'm not running around and then going, that's today? So 3-month planning gives you the opportunity to look ahead for that. So that is why my second thing is to split it up into quarterly goals. Number 3, this one is from Tony Robbins, and it is looking at your goals often. So I will link to probably a clip again over here, where he talks about that, and I definitely found that to be true. If you've watched my Steve Harvey 300 Things video, I talk about how the first 3 months I was writing down, first 2 to 3 months that I was writing down my 300 goals, my 300 wants, I didn't really get a whole lot done with them because I was just writing. I wasn't really working on anything. And then after I wrote them down, there was also like, I would look at them and then there was a lull, and then I would look at them and then there was a lull. It's super important to look at your goals every day, but does it need to be all of your goals all at once? Because we know there's some things that are going to happen early in the year. There's some things that are based around certain times of the year. For example, and I'll go back to this a lot because it's what I'm currently looking forward to. Nano happens in November. Do I really need to be looking at that in January? Probably not. There's probably some more important things that I could be focusing on in January that will help get me in a better position so that when November does come around, I've learned some new things, I've got some more stuff to implement. I mean, there's a whole year that happens between now and then. So having your goals that you look at regularly, but if you've planned out the whole year, then you'll be able to break it off by the season, by the quarter, to know which ones you need to pay the most attention to. So Tony Robbins is number 3. Number 4, breaking down the yearly goals into quarterly, monthly, and weekly goals. So this is along the same lines as the previous point from Tony Robbins, making sure that you have things ready to look at often. And yes, you do want to be looking at things daily, but if you know what you're going to be working on for each quarter, then you can start to get more and more specific. Okay, at the beginning of the quarter, I'm going to look at all the goals that I want to achieve during this quarter. So then it's going to be, these are my quarterly goals. You're going to break that down into, okay, each month, in order to get my quarterly goals completed, these are the things that I need to do each month. And then you can go from there and take that to a weekly basis. That way you look at it at the beginning, and as each week comes through, you know exactly what you'd like to achieve during that month. And that's not to say that you don't tweak or update things, but it gives you a better way to stay on top of it. That is one thing that I do like about my Happy Planner. And I haven't filled out this month yet, but this will be for December. It's got that whole blank page with the preceding months and everything, so you can kind of get a picture of what things are going to look like. And then I haven't filled out for November and December yet, but I've completed my my October one. And so I won't show you all of my personal goals, but you can just kind of see here. I think, well, it may be hard to see, but you can kind of see here where I started to fill it out. I've got my October goals. And so I have a class that I'm taking. And so there's some homework that I need to finish. That's one of my October goals, is to write my reflections for the class. I have 3 that are due. I've already written 1. So I just need to write 2 more. And then I haven't completed what my priorities for October would be. But it might be like, okay, for October, prepping for Nano is going to be one of them. And then studying for my final yoga teacher training 200-hour exam is going to be my second goal for the month of October. And then I'm also prepping for NaNoWriMo, which is my focus for the month. Especially since my class wraps up about halfway through the month, I'm not going to make that my overarching goal, but it is something I've already started working on. So as of September, that had already been, it's like, you know, I have writing reflections in my September goals as well, because if I write 2 in September and then 1 in October, I'm done and I'm ready to go. And so for any other, like I have studying on here for my 200-hour yoga teacher training certification. So I don't always have a focus for the month, but most of the time I do, especially if it's something that's going to be really big on my to-do list. So that is kind of, those are my favorite methods of setting goals, and then how I break each one of them down and how it serves me best. So give it a shot. See if there's any of these methods that speak to you that you find helpful. Let me know in the comments. Or if you have another method that you really like, that you swear by, leave that in the comments as well, because I'm always open to trying new things. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will also have some other videos coming out around goals and the tools that I use for my goal setting. So keep an eye out for a video on that. I think it's going to be coming out next week. So I will see you next time. Thank you to my Patreons. You make the world go round. Love you so much.